My literacy journey started when I was 5 years old. Going to school in town was not an easy thing for me because at that time I didn't know how to read and write in English. I knew I had to learn English fast because it was hard for me to make friends, and also I was afraid to ask my teacher to use the bathroom. At first, I thought my teacher was mean and rude because she was Sepedi, but she didn't allow me to talk to her using Sepedi. She would act as if she didn't hear what I was saying if I tried to say something in our language. She told me I must learn English. She told my parents to teach me the basics, and she will do the rest after school. I remained after school to learn how to read and write English. I started reading books and watching movies with subtitles to improve my vocabulary. Since then, I was able to read and write in English.
My literacy journey started when I was 4 years old. My sister used to read bedtime stories for me. She also taught me how to write. And that's when I developed my reading and writing skills. By the time I reached grade 1, I started seeing a big potential in my reading and writing skills. As I will read books of higher order, my literacy journey empowered me to express myself more efficiently, especially when communicating with people. Communicating with people in a good manner way. And that's why today I chose teaching as a career, as I would like to share my knowledge with others about how my literacy journey shaped me.
My name is Ayanda Martins, and my literacy journey began at the tender age of 3 years old. I was a very, very talkative 3-year-old, and that was considered a major milestone for a person of that age. This was because I had very magnificent communication skills. I was able to communicate with adults, people younger than me, and intimates. However, the biggest concern was the fact that I only spoke in isiZulu. This was a concern because I only attended English-speaking schools and my two older siblings only spoke to me in English. It is then that my mom decided to invest in my learning of the English language. She would bring back books from her workplace of the alphabets, and she would help me to apply these alphabets into learning the English language. For example, A for apple, B for cat, B for bear, and C for cat. It is there that my love for books had blossomed into a love for stories and storytelling. Storytelling for me became a passion, especially in grade 2. And that is when I realized I had a deep love for public speaking and writing. I started noticing people's handwriting, including myself, and made sure that it was always neat, and I would always advocate for my friends when they were bullied. Reading made me enjoy public speaking, and that love for public speaking blossomed into debating in grade 7, 8, up until matric. That is why I wish to be a teacher, to instill this love of reading into kids that will help them discover what they truly love. Not necessarily reading, but perhaps maybe even writing or public speaking like myself. Thank you.
Early literacy experience. I remember learning the alphabet and playing with magnetic letter on the fridge. My family encouraged me to practice writing my name in simple words. I loved looking at picture books and getting books as gifts. As I grew older, I enjoyed reading chapter books and early reader series. These early experiences sparked a love for reading and writing that has stayed with me. My family and teachers were super supportive. They encouraged me to keep reading. I also enjoyed book clubs and storytelling sessions at school, which made reading more fun. My teachers were helpful in guiding me through complex texts and providing feedback on my writing. Their guidance has played a significant role in my literacy development. My journey with literacy has been marked by significant growth and expansion. This literacy foundation enables me to excel in my academics and fostering critical thought and effective communication. Thank you.
Hi, Sylvia Nechivera here. I'm here to share my story of learning to read and write. As a child, my grandparents read me bedtime stories. I loved how they made the characters come alive. I was curious about the words, and would ask them to spell things out for me. In school, my favorite teacher, Miss Peterson, made learning so much fun because she had games and activities that made me want to read more. As I grew older, I started reading different kinds of books. I liked reading stories and poems because it helped me to express myself. When I got introduced to technology, I started reading online and writing on social media, and it helped me a lot because I learned new things and could connect with other people. Now, being able to read and write helps me a lot in university because I can now understand complex ideas, think critically, and write good essays. My journey of learning to read and write has been shaped by people and experiences in my life, and I am grateful for it and looking forward to continuing to learn and grow. Thank you very much.
My literacy journey began in first grade, where I was learned the basics of reading and writing, which includes the alphabets, numbers, colors, shapes, etc. My second grade teacher, Miss Sidu, is one of the people who shaped my literacy development. She used to give us spelling tests, and she used to make us read out loud in front of the class, which also shaped my ability in public speaking. One of the people who also played a significant role in my literacy development is my grandmother, because she used to make me read the Bible to her every day after school once I learned how to read efficiently.
My literacy journey started when I was doing grade 5, when I was able to put together the ways to make a sentence that makes sense. And my teacher supported me. My teacher was teaching us about rhymes, about poems. That when I first knew how to write a poem and knew about the stanzas and all stuff. And my literacy journey so started to be so strong when I was in grade 8, when I first got my first phone. When I got my first phone, my teacher, oh, my mother, my mother bought me a new phone, and I was able to access social media. I was able to to follow the groups, the pages that were doing poems and all that. That's when my literacy improved. And they supported me throughout my journey. And right now I can write the poems, and I can even give younger children from high schools my sisters to recite the poems at their schools. Yeah. Thank you.
My literacy journey starts when I was very young. My parents often read bedtime stories to me, and even though they didn't teach me to read and write before grade 1, they did instill the passion for reading in me to help me develop my reading and writing skills much quicker when I reached grade 1. So, by the time I reached grade 4 and 5, I was reading books of much higher caliber than those around me. This love for reading also developed in a love for stories and a love for storytelling and sharing of information that I read. And so this led me to becoming an effective writer and a writer of stories in my later years, so that I am busy writing my own book now. This love for sharing stories also translated into me wanting to share information with others, which is why I am becoming a teacher. In the end, we can see how my literacy journey shaped me into who I am today and shaped the course of my studies and my life, and will continue to do so.